Heya and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. In this video, I'd like to show you how to acquire and to upgrade the best belt slot item that is currently in the game. This new belt slot item is fairly similar to the chain of skills which you would get from doing Chult. However, this one is much more universally beneficial to all the roles. Alright, so what is this actual best in slot belt item? If you go to your Collections tab and go to Descent into Avernus and over to Antiquities of Avernus, you will see this new belt slot item, the Awakened Forger's Box. This Forger's Box came out with the release of the episode of Bell, where you essentially had to follow a quest line and then fend off Valenhas from these minions that Bell would send to take over Valenhas. Anyway, these minions fail, so Bell comes along himself and you can fight him. Anyway, surrounding that all, you are required to level up an amulet and gain military ranks and whatnot. And during that process, and while you're farming it, you will come upon the tools required to upgrade this Forger's Box. To begin with, you'll start off with just the dormant Forger's Box, and you'll have to require the reagents to restore it all the way up the line. The final one, the Mythic one, is beneficial for all classes and roles because of its increase to power. An increase to power will increase your aggro on a tank, increase your heals on a healer, and increase your DPS on a DPS. As well as that, it also has an additional effect. Some of them are quite nice, others can be rather useless for other roles and classes. But overall, the increase to power, the 2800, is just a bit better than a rank 15 Radiant. So there already, it's quite beneficial. Okay, so if you have Valenhas unlocked, you'll be able to acquire this Dormant Forger's Box from one of the initial quests. Once you get your hands on the Dormant Forger's Box, you'll be able to acquire these metal rods. All of these metal rods are what is required to upgrade it. The first metal rod, the Reinforced Metal Rod, you'll be able to find by farming heroics. There's a certain drop chance, I'm unaware what it is exactly, but when you complete a heroic encounter, there is a chance that one of these will spawn. These heroic encounters must be within Valenhas. So, we'll go ahead and we'll restore our Forger's Box to be a glowing Forger's Box. Here you can see it will use my Reinforced Metal Rod. I restore it, and there we go. For the third tier, you will have to use the Broken Metal Rod. This Broken Metal Rod you'll be able to find by farming skill nodes. The easiest way to do this would be, in my opinion, to enter into Cragmire Crypts and just farm the 2 skill nodes that spawn there. You can see here I am running it, and I'm also keeping track of how many times I've done it. In this one it took me 18 tries and I managed to get it. You can see there is a skill node just around this corner here and another one just further along this way. You will need a Dungeoneering kit and also a Thievery kit to unlock both of the skill nodes. And you can see in this final one I managed to get it. This is the Broken Metal Rod, used to upgrade your Forger's Box to the 3rd tier, to blue. You can see here it requires my Broken Metal Rod, and we'll restore it up to be the Burning Forger's Box. Alright, so the next one, the Balanced Metal Rod. This one you can simply just purchase within the store from the lady in Valenhas, just here. And you go into the store and you'll be able to buy the Balanced Metal Rod. However, it requires you to be the purple rank Marshal, to be able to purchase it. So that's the Balanced Metal Rod. We'll go ahead and restore it to our next rank, that being the Infused Forger's Box. That uses my Balanced Metal Rod. And there we go. We have our Infused Forger's Box. After that, you have the Battle-Worn Metal Rod. This rod you acquire by farming the Insurgency bosses. when you complete an insurgency by killing a certain amount of foes, and you reach that 100% point, either a boss will spawn, there's a chance a boss will spawn, or just the rift will spawn and no boss. There is a chance upon killing this boss, it will drop the battle-worn metal rod. You will have to kill a lot of those bosses to be able to get it. So we'll go ahead and restore our Forger's Box to purple, the vibrating Forger's Box, using that battle-worn metal rod. Then we have our Infused Metal Rod. This metal rod you find by farming Bell. After you defeat him and receive your rewards, there is a chance you will get an Infused Metal Rod. This metal rod is required to upgrade your Forger's Box to Legendary, the Empowered Forger's Box. Here we will upgrade it, and then we have our Legendary, our Empowered Forger's Box. Finally, last but not least, there is the Dented Metal Rod. This metal rod you find by opening the boxes, the mythic boxes that you get from the lady. You have to have your amulet on mythic for you to be able to buy the correct boxes, which will drop you the Dented Metal Rod. It can be quite frustrating with the actual amount of those ornate boxes that you have to open to actually acquire the Dented Metal Rod. And here we go, we will restore it to mythic with that Dented Metal Rod. And there we go, we have it finally fully upgraded and all of our rods are gone. So here is the full awakened Forger's Box. If I jump to my collections, it should show that I have all of the ranks, all new, as I just did it. So that is it. This is the awakened Forger's Box. You slot it in one of your 3 belt slot items. Ideally you would have a stone of health, and then you would have either the main food that you use. This battle horn is also a relatively good belt slot item. And then of course you have your awakened Forger's Box. If I use it and look at my current power, I'm at 134.7. If I use it, there we go. I used it, it goes on a cooldown of 10 minutes. And there we have it. My power increased by the certain amount. If I go to my buffs, you can see it's right here. Forger's Advantage. This basically increases my combat advantage, that being the additional effect. And of course, the Forger's Box, which will always give increased power. Each of these effects last for half an hour. However, after the 10 minutes is up, you'll be able to use the box again. Let's say you got the additional benefit, which is not too much to your liking. You can always use it again and try get a different additional benefit. They won't stack on each other. Once you use it, this one will go away and be replaced by the next one you get. Alright, so that's everything for this video. Hopefully it was helpful and informative, and maybe you can go and upgrade your Forger's Box to Mythic. Maybe you already have done so. And yes, I didn't realize the grind is a pain. But for endgame characters, it's definitely worth it. So if you have any free time, you can always go about grinding for those metal rods. If I presented this well, like what you saw here, consider leaving it a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.